What is the most overlooked but the easiest way to bring a burst of life to your marriage? Well, I think the answer will surprise you, but the hardest part is going to be to think like a child. We've been adulting for so long, we have so many responsibilities on our mind, and to make a shift away from that could be harder than you realize. On this video, we're talking about how to bring a burst of new life to your marriage. Ooh, and what are all of those benefits? I'm Mary Whitman Ortiz of Limitless Intimacy, where we bring you tips and tools to create great intimacy in your marriage. On this channel, we share strategies and intimacy made simple steps, all from a Christian point of view. So if you're new here, we'd love for you to consider subscribing. Now, back to our question. What do you need to add to your marriage for a burst of life that's just like right under your nose? Well, it's fun. F-U-N, good old-fashioned fun. What on earth do I mean by that? Children have it easy. They know how to be playful. They know how to see the world with like curiosity and wonder. And adults, wow, they carry a lot of weight. But it's easier for a child to have fun than an adult. Adult has to plan to have fun, unless they're just that personality type that makes everything fun. But we can all benefit from being intentional. And I have to tell you that your marriage needs fun. And by the time you realize it needs it, you might have been at a deficit for a little bit too long. And that fun can happen outside and inside the bedroom. That's what we're talking about today. Now, if this has been giving you some value so far, would you give us a thumbs up and answer in the comments, what do you do for fun with your spouse? I want you to look a little deeper with me too. We are going to open up the Old Testament and look at the book of Hosea, chapter 10, verse 12, and it talks about how to plant a seed, plant good seeds of righteousness, and you will harvest a crop of love. Ooh, now seed is something small, but it has great possibilities if you're intentional with the way you handle it. And a crop is a big result and fruit that comes from your work. Aha, I hope you're getting some ideas here. Let's see how fun can add to your marriage. This is a great list. It makes it fresh. It makes it seem like it's alive and it's growing. It makes everything more positive and your marriage to be something that you look toward as a source of life and encouragement. It's that positive overflow, that positive momentum. But what happens when you're not prioritizing fun? Yeah, this is probably where most of us live. Well, things can be boring. And it's like your marriage is dying. And usually we don't see that gradual downward spiral between boring and dying. And that can be scary because if your marriage is suffering, if there's a drain on it, then you're not facing some of those deeper issues that you need to. And you're growing in your distance and you're growing in your walls. And if there is a disinterest in your marriage, hey, that's when people start looking outside their marriage for help. And that is a scary place to be, right? Now, I want to give you some real specific steps that you can take. That's our Intimacy Made Simple steps. So that you can get this fun element ramped up, amped up again. But first, if you're a mental health professional or a ministry leader that works with couples, You know how much couples need to know that fun will be a boost, a blessing to their sexual intimacy. And I want to help you do that. I have these sexual wholeness training that gives so many tips. It gives like the whole history of trends in sexuality. It talks about how God sees sexual intimacy as good from way back into the garden. And it helps you to talk about sex in a way that doesn't feel awkward. Wouldn't that be a perk? I talk to so many couples and they're like, if it just wasn't so difficult to talk about, I think we'd be at a better place. So, the sexual wholeness training is available for mental health professionals, ministry leaders, anybody that works with couples. It's held on November 17th and 18th. Check the link and you can sign up today. But let me give you your strategy now to add fun inside and outside the bedroom. Our 3 steps. Number 1, find a hobby you both like you can do together. It may be a little trial and error to get to that place, but it will absolutely serve you. Number 2, set up simple habits to be playful. Now, this could be little flirty texts, this could be pats on your spouse's personhood. You're walking through the room just loving ways to touch and connect, but just make it a habit. And that way you are sowing those little seeds of intentional love. Number 3, try new things together. This might be volunteering for your church, for a community river cleanup, all kinds of things. We got a new puppy this year. And so that has been something for us to try together, to have some fun, to grow our closeness. You want to find the most natural ways to bring that in your life, and then you'll get the most enjoyment from it. So remember, God's design for sexual wholeness is to create emotional and sexual intimacy in your marriage. Just add more fun.